Welcome back to Stoic Wisdom TV. Let's have a heart-to-heart, man-to-man. When it comes to relationships, most guys are taught to look for the obvious signs of interest in their body language, how often she texts, or whether she initiates plans. But here's a truth that often gets overlooked. A woman's words can reveal her feelings long before her actions do. Women tend to be indirect when expressing emotions, especially in the early stages of attraction. They rarely come right out and say, "I like you." Instead, they drop subtle hints, little coded messages that test the waters while giving them an escape hatch. If things don't go as hoped, as a stoic man, you're trained to see the world with clarity, to focus on what's real rather than what you wish to be true. That clarity is your superpower. It lets you hear what she's really saying beneath the surface. In this guide, we're diving into 7 things a woman might say when she's developing real feelings for you. These aren't just casual phrases, they're windows into her emotional world, signs she's thinking about you in ways she's not ready to admit out loud. If you hear even one of these, she's starting to invest in you emotionally. If you hear multiple, she's already in deep. We'll explore each sign through the lens of Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches us to stay grounded, master our emotions, and act with intention. By the end, you'll not only know how to recognize her feelings, but also how to respond in a way that deepens the connection while preserving your inner peace. Let's get started. One of the most powerful indicators of a woman's growing feelings is her willingness to open up and share something deeply personal. Women are naturally selective about who they let into their inner world. They don't just hand out access to their insecurities, childhood stories, or hidden fears. They reserve that for someone they trust, someone they see as different. So, when a woman says, "I don't usually talk about this," or "I've never told anyone this before," and then shares something vulnerable like a past heartbreak, a childhood trauma, or an insecurity, she's sending a clear message. You're not just anyone to her. I remember a guy I know, Matt, who was dating a woman named Sarah. A few months in, she opened up about a tough experience from her teenage years, something she'd never shared with anyone else. She prefaced it with, "I've never told anyone this," but Matt could tell it was a big moment. She was nervous, her voice soft, but she trusted him enough to let him in. That vulnerability was her way of saying, "You're special to me." From a Stoic perspective, this moment is about trust and emotional security. Marcus Aurelius wrote that we should focus on what we can control, our thoughts, our actions, and let go of what we can't, like others' feelings. But when a woman shares something deeply personal, she's giving you something you can control, how you respond. She's lowering her emotional walls, moving from surface-level attraction to something deeper. She's exposing a part of herself she usually keeps guarded, and when she lets you in, she can't easily detach. Emotionally, the mistake many men make here is mishandling the moment. Some brush it off with, "Oh, that's not a big deal," or try to fix it with, "You should do this to feel better." Others change the subject because they're uncomfortable. None of these responses build connection. As a Stoic, your role is to listen with full presence. Epictetus taught that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reasonto. Listen more than we speak. Don't try to solve her problems or offer unsolicited advice. Instead, validate her emotions. A simple, "I really appreciate you trusting me with that," or "That must have been so hard for you," shows her she's safe with you. By staying calm and present, you deepen her trust, which is the foundation of attraction. At first glance, this might sound like a polite compliment, something casual that doesn't carry much weight. But when a woman says this in a specific way, it's a profound signal of her growing feelings. Women are naturally more cautious than men when it comes to relationships. They have to be. Their instincts are wired for emotional and physical safety. So, if she's telling you that you make her feel at ease, it's not random. It means you've bypassed her usual defenses, creating a space where she can let her guard down. Let's break this down through a Stoic lens. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, often wrote, about the importance of inner tranquility. A woman who feels comfortable around you is experiencing a form of that tranquility. She feels safe, but not in a boring, platonic way. There are two types of comfort: romantic comfort, which pairs safety with excitement and attraction, and platonic comfort, which leads to the friend zone, where she feels safe but not intrigued. How do you tell the difference? Look at the context. If she says this while maintaining strong eye contact, smiling, or playfully touching you, she's signaling romantic feelings. If she says it during a deep, serious conversation with a neutral tone, she might be placing you in the safe guy category. I had a friend, Chris, who heard this from a woman he was seeing. They were on a date, laughing over dinner, and she reached across the table, touched his hand, and said, "I feel so comfortable around you, it's like I can be myself." Her smile, her touch, the way she looked at him, it was clear she wasn't just being friendly. She was drawn to him on a deeper level. But Chris made a mistake. He thought comfort alone was enough. He didn't keep the spark alive with challenge or intrigue, and over time, she started seeing him as just a friend. Stoicism teaches us to balance reason with action. Comfort is a foundation, but it's not the whole house. As a Stoic man, you want to create a space where she feels safe to be herself, but you also need to maintain an air of mystery and excitement. Respond to her words with warmth. "I'm glad you feel that way, because I love seeing the real you," but keep her on her toes with playful teasing or spontaneous plans. Comfort paired with intrigue is what turns trust into attraction. When a woman asks, "Do you think about me?" she's revealing more than curiosity. This isn't a casual question, it's a subtle way of seeking reassurance. A test to see how much space she occupies in your mind. Women don't ask this of men they're indifferent about. If she didn't care, why would she need to know? The fact that she's asking means she's already been thinking about you, wondering if you feel the same. I'll never forget a moment with my buddy Alex. He was seeing a woman named Emily, and one night, after a great date, she looked at him with a shy smile and asked, "Do you ever think about me when I'm not around?" Alex could tell she was nervous, but her question showed how invested she was. She wanted to know if she mattered to him as much as he mattered to her. From a Stoic perspective, this is a moment to practice balance. Marcus Aurelius taught us to focus on the present while maintaining control over our emotions. If you reveal too much too soon, like saying, "I think about you all the time," you risk killing the tension that keeps attraction alive. Attraction thrives on a delicate balance of certainty and uncertainty. Instead, a Stoic man keeps her guessing with a playful response that acknowledges her question without giving everything away. Try something like, maybe have you been thinking about me?" or "I try not to, but you keep popping into my head." These responses confirm she's on your mind while flipping the script, making her admit her own feelings. After you've teased her, deepen the conversation by sharing a specific memory. For example, "I was thinking about that joke you told the other day. It made me laugh out loud at work." This shows her you value her presence without overdoing it. Stoicism reminds us to act with intention, not impulse. By keeping the dynamic playful yet meaningful, you create intrigue and build emotional connection. This phrase might not seem romantic at first, but it's a subtle sign of her growing investment. When a woman starts asking for your perspective on her life choice, whether it's about a career decision, a family issue, or a personal dilemma, is showing that she values your wisdom and sees you as more than just a casual fling. She's looking to you for guidance, not just as a friend, but as someone whose influence she trusts, someone she can envision as a partner in her future. I knew a guy, Tom, who noticed this with a woman he was dating. She was stressed about a big career move and asked, "What would you do if you were in my shoes?" Tom took the question seriously, offering thoughtful advice while also asking questions to understand her better. That conversation marked a turning point in their relationship. Started seeing him as someone she could rely on, someone she wanted by her side. From a Stoic lens, this is a moment of assessment. Epictetus taught that we should focus on what's within our control, like our reasoning and judgment, while accepting what isn't, like others' decisions. When a woman asks this question, she's inviting you to understand her more deeply. She's testing your emotional intelligence, seeing if your approach to life's challenges aligns with her needs. She's also allowing herself to envision you as part of her world, someone whose perspective matters. As a Stoic man, your response should be thoughtful but not overbearing. Don't just give advice, listen, ask questions, and show genuine interest in her situation. A response like, "That's a tough spot to be in, here's what I'd consider, but I'd love to hear more about what you're thinking," shows you're engaged without trying to take over. By staying calm and insightful, you prove you're a steady presence she can rely on, which deepens her trust and attraction. There's something incredibly powerful about this statement. When a woman says, "I feel like you get me," she's not just talking about surface-level compatibilities, it is acknowledging a deeper emotional and intellectual connection. This kind of understanding transcends words. It's intuitive, unspoken. The kind of bond that makes her feel truly seen. She's saying you've touched a part of her that few others have reached, a place beyond the mask she shows the world. I saw this play out with a friend, James, and his girlfriend, Lauren. They'd been dating for a few months when, after a long conversation about their dreams and fears, she looked at him and said, "I feel like you get me in a way most people don't." James could tell it was a big moment for her. There was a sense of relief in her voice, like she'd been waiting to find someone who truly understood her. That moment solidified their bond, taking the relationship to a new level. From a Stoic perspective, this is about emotional intimacy. Seneca wrote that true connection comes from understanding and accepting others as they are. When a woman says this, she's signaling that you've become a significant presence in her life, someone who sees her beyond the surface. She's no longer a distant figure or someone she feels deeply connected to. As a Stoic man, your role is to honor that connection by continuing to be present and authentic. Simple, "I'm glad you feel that way, it means a lot to me," shows her you value the bond without overcomplicating the moment. By staying grounded, you reinforce the trust that's making her fall for you. This phrase is profound in its simplicity. When a woman says, "I can't imagine my life without you," she's not just expressing affection, she's revealing a deep emotional attachment. In her mind, your presence has become so intertwined with her life that the idea of losing you feels incomprehensible. This isn't a casual remark, it's a declaration of how significant you've become to her. I remember hearing this from a woman I dated years ago. We'd been together for about a year, and one night, as we were talking about our future, she said, "I can't imagine my life without you in it." There was a weight to her words, a vulnerability that showed how much she'd invested in us. It was a moment that made me realize just how deeply she felt. From a Stoic lens, this is a moment to reflect on attachment. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the impermanence of life, reminding us to focus on the present, rather than clinging to the future. While her words are a beautiful sign of her feelings, a Stoic man doesn't let them define his worth. You appreciate her sentiment, but you also maintain your inner independence. Respond with warmth, "That means a lot to me, and I feel the same about you," but stay grounded in your own sense of self. Her emotional investment is a gift, but your peace doesn't depend on it. By balancing connection with independence, you create a relationship that's strong yet free of unhealthy attachment. This might not be the first phrase you'd expect in a romantic context, but it's a powerful sign of her emotional investment. When a woman says, "I want to make you proud," she's revealing a deep level of respect and admiration. She's not just trying to impress you, she's committed to being the best version of herself, because she values your standards and sees you as someone worth striving for. A friend of mine, Mike, experienced this with his partner, Anna. She'd been working hard on a new project at work, and one day she told him, "I really want to make you proud with this." Mike was touched. It showed how much she cared about his opinion, how much she wanted to be someone he admired. That moment deepened their bond, as it revealed her desire to grow for him, not out of obligation, but out of love. From a Stoic perspective, this is about mutual growth. Epictetus taught that we should surround ourselves with people who inspire us to be better, and in turn, we should inspire them. When a woman expresses this desire, she's showing that she sees you as a source of inspiration, someone whose respect she values deeply. As a Stoic man, you honor this by supporting her growth while continuing to live by your own principles. A response like, "I'm already proud of you for the effort you're putting in," shows her you see her worthwhile, encouraging her to keep striving. By fostering mutual respect, you build a relationship that's rooted in growth and admiration. These 7 phrases: "I've never told anyone this before. I feel so comfortable around you. Do you think about me? What would you do in my shoes? I feel like you get me. I can't imagine my life without you, and I want to make you proud," are more than just words. They're windows into a woman's emotional world, signs she's falling for you on a deep level. Each one reflects trust, admiration, and a growing connection that's moving beyond casual attraction. But as a Stoic man, you know that words alone aren't enough. Marcus Aurelius reminded us to look at actions, not just intentions, because actions are the true language of the heart. Pay attention to how she behaves when no one's watching. Does she show up for you, support you, make time for you? Her words and actions together will tell you the full story of her feelings. When you hear these phrases, your role is to listen with presence, reflect with clarity, and respond with intention. Stoicism teaches us to stay grounded, to act from reason rather than impulse. Don't rush to overanalyze or overcommit. Let the connection grow naturally. By staying calm and composed, you create a space where she feels safe to open up, which only deepens her attraction. I'd love to hear your story. Have you heard any of these phrases from a woman in your life? How did you respond? Drop a comment below and share your experience. It might help someone else who's navigating the same journey. If you found value in this Stoic approach to understanding relationships, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell for more insights on how to apply Stoic principles to love, self-improvement, and life. Let's keep building lives of purpose, clarity, and strength together. Because at the end of the day, a Stoic man doesn't just hear a woman's words, she understands her heart. If this message resonates with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that will help you create the life you truly deserve. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.